You could call this a good old-fashioned butt whooping.
Squad! The update has dropped for Royal Rumble tier. And whilst I would usually say at this point, go to your local app store, wherever it is, Apple, Amazon, whatever it is, wait, because there are a bunch of new tiny, I say tiny, massive hidden things that they have put into the update, ready for Wednesday's release, which they didn't tell anyone about. And I'm going to explain exactly what it is, its origins, and what you got to do in this new, pretty significant, potentially, additional update. It'll definitely change the way you play the game, but would it be for the better or worse? That's what we're going to be discussing. We're going to get started though, and I'm going to say if you are hyped for Royal Rumble tier, or simply if you breathe oxygen, smack that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on, because if you don't, there could be problems. You kind of need to breathe. I don't think I need to tell anyone that. In case you forgot, kind of need to do that. Cool. Comment in the comment section down below. I want to know what the last card you pulled off of the draft board was. It could be, I don't know, you might not have played the game for 2 years. It might be the last card you pulled was an uncommon card. I don't know. It could be anything. It could be a Vanguard card. You tell me. Comments down below. The new Royal Rumble update has dropped, although you won't see it because in the Royal Rumble tier there's still only Drew McIntyre all by himself. However, in this update is the brand new Royal Rumble cards, the new support cards, and they have confirmed that WWE Hall of Famers are going to be in the new tier, which is pretty cool. That's all on the update. You go to the App Store, it's all going to be there. They've added a couple of small things though. First of all, if you go into, let's say if you're in Vanguard tier, I believe it also works if you're in Primal Plus. Now for some reason your entire tier bar goes to the color, if you're in Plus, of the tier you're about to go into. Very strange, but I'm guessing this is to prepare you for when you enter the next tier. So Vanguard Plus has the colors of the Royal Rumble tier, and it's hyped me up. I'm not gonna lie, it's hyped me up something pretty big. So other than that, there's not really been any huge changes, even though we're still required to get enhancements, which I still don't understand. There's a few things that they could have changed and they haven't changed, which just the standard stuff that I always have a little bit of a nag about. The settings menus changed a little bit to make it, well, you go to the help center, a little bit easier to get around and not get confused as to why there's legal stuff there. So you got legal here, which is as the end user. Terms of service, do not sell my info. Apparently if you're in California, that's important. Or you got the help center, and most people went to this thinking, if they've removed stuff from the help center, surely there's other stuff that they've added in. And as you can see here, there is a brand new feature to the game that they have ripped straight out, pretty much, I'll come to that in a second, out of another ex-Cat Daddy game. We're still technically Cat Daddy, but they don't actually make the games anymore. This is from My NBA 2K20. In fact, this has been around for a while there, but they've kind of jazzed it up for WWE SuperCard. The way this works in My NBA is actually incredibly simple. You go onto the draft board, you pull certain cards until you get to a certain shape. Once you've got to that shape, your draft board will light up in lots and lots of different colors. In fact, on this version it had the blue outline, so it's giving you an indication that you've gotten the pattern that has been set. But with SuperCard, they've added a personal pattern as well. Difference with this is it's not going to be as easy as it is in My NBA. The global pattern will be the same for everyone. For example, it might be an S, it might be a C, it might be an A, or it might even just be one massive line. But the important thing is you can't have any resets during this. So if you're just trying to get a line that goes down the middle of the draft board, you could be trying for this 10 times before the reset is actually in that line. Once you've got the global pattern, as you can see, if I just scroll down here, loads of fireworks go off. Hey, you've got yourself the global pattern, which then unlocks the personal pattern. It's going to pop up down the bottom left-hand side of the screen. Your personal individual letter or design or whatever you want to call it is then going to go active, and this is completely randomized. I don't know, for one person an S, another person it'll be like a T pose, one card left on the board in the center. It could be incredibly difficult or incredibly easy to get. If you are lucky enough to get yourself your personal pattern as well, maybe you might get yourself a card of your tier, or potentially you'll get yourself a, I don't know, I'm going to guess like between 3 tiers. So if you're in Royal Rumble tier, you'll get it within Primal to Royal Rumble. This, in my opinion, makes it a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. If I could make one suggestion to the guys at WWE SuperCard, maybe they should include a global reward and a personal reward. Global reward goes from an extremely low down tier to the highest tier, and then you have the personal reward, which could be something much better. They have been pushing this idea that this game in season 6 is going to be real, and I'm going to point something out which I'm not quite sure they're quite understanding, as a casual game. And now to potentially have to play for, no, could be minutes, could be hours on end, to get yourself a potential personal reward that could actually be nothing special at all, it doesn't sound casual to me. Not to mention the fortifying, which seems to have been completely nerfed by the fact that you're getting tiers every 2.5 months. Surely it'd be better for people to be pulling multiple different cards of their tier and then having the chance to fortify them afterwards, pushing people to get more fortified cards than it is to get pros. Maybe that would be the more important thing than just putting a card off the board, which keeps everyone happy, because the hardcore people can push and push and push and get themselves the fortified 1, 2s and 3s, and the people who are casual players can just be happy with the fact they got themselves a nice little pro. The good thing, however, with this draft pattern is that it is going to be timed over a certain period of, it could be a day, could be a week, maybe if it's a tier pull, it could be over a month or something, and then once you cleared it, you can then move on to the next pattern or whatever. We don't know exactly how it's going to be. It might just be a day-by-day thing like it is in my NBA. The good thing is, if you choose a wrong card, it's going to tell you you've chosen a wrong card. So you can effectively make a map yourself of what cards you should be choosing and which ones you shouldn't be choosing. That I like. And you'll have to reset the draft board before you do that again, which is where Royal Rumble mode is going to be very useful for this. And it seems like it's going to go live the moment Royal Rumble tier drops, but it could also be remotely activated at any time. This certainly makes things like Wild Wednesday, PvP, more attractive benefits, although personally I've played more PvP in the last 2 to 3 weeks than I have in my entire history playing this game, simply because the rewards were much better. So take that as feedback, SuperCard. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, as well as, like I said, your last board pull, or it could be like a common card from 2 seasons ago. Could be anything. Once you got your head around it and you started playing through it, I honestly think you'll be absolutely fine. It is something that's going to take a little while to get used to, but the thing I think that is the best part about it is that you effectively can make your own map out of the cards you get right and the cards you get wrong. And if you get something good out of it, such as if you're in the top tier, Primal to Royal Rumble, then you know what? I'm happy with that. If you're going to get something that's absolute trash and it's going to make you feel bad, then, you know what, Cat Daddy? Don't bother. Because people are going to start getting mad, real mad, very soon. Before we end off, make sure you hit that big like button if you breathe oxygen. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that big red button and turn notifications on by ringing the bell. Why? Because you need to breathe. You don't breathe, you die. Kind of a problem. You don't want to suffocate. It hurts. A lot. 2 King of the Rings back to back. 2 Eliases back to back. If it's another Elias, I don't know what I'll do. It's going to be another Elias now, isn't it? No, God, it's coming up now. I thought I was going to be one then. Go on. Oh, Sasha Banks. My first tier 2 female pro. Oh, yeah. I'm liking that. That is a good set of King of the Ring awards. I am very happy with that. Is it tags with my Alexa Bliss, which is a tier 1 already. Commiserations, Mike. Just so happens that Sami Zayn's a pro as well. Nice. She might be my most powerful. It'll be close. It'll be very, very close. Oh yeah, there we go. Fortified level 2 is it even as good as China? Oh no, it's better than China. Okay. So let's see how oh yeah, she's better in toughness, speed, and charisma. Oh damn. So she's now become my best normal female card. Impressive. I'm going to search for a tier 2 China though in the next couple of King of the Ring awards. So I'll bid you farewell. Have an amazing, amazing day wherever you are. I'll see you in the next one.